AFC East predictions, predicted record, predicted standings, and then superlatives. So MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Breakout Player, and the Coach of the Division. Let's go.
So we always start at the bottom and work our way up. I would say the Patriots are a very clear-cut number 4 in this division, and that's coming from somebody that I think Drake May is actually going to look pretty good. I just don't know who he's throwing the football to. Right? Obviously, Juju's gone. I'm not saying Juju's this dominant one, but he's probably their best receiver, right? Jalen Polk, the rookie from Washington, maybe their number 1. Kendrick Bourne, I think, is still there. Like he'll be a decent, guy to throw to, but he's like a 3 or a 4 on a Super Bowl level team. So that's a low end guy to throw to as your number 1. I don't trust the running game. I don't trust the offensive line. Defense should be good, should be serviceable. But yeah, there's not a lot around Drake May, and I don't think he's going to be perfect. I think he's going to have his fair share of rookie mistakes.
Oh, absolutely.
So to me, it's a 4, maybe 5 win team at most.
Yeah, I just don't see them being able to accomplish much. They don't develop quarterbacks very quick. Brady's kind of an anomaly where he just kind of
he was still but again, he was like a late round guy. He sat behind Bledsoe until Bledsoe got hurt.
I have no confidence in New England. Without Brady Belichick, no confidence.
So we had this discussion with the Packers. I said, I'm just going to start trusting them on offense mostly, but quarterback specifically. I'm just going to trust them that they think Jordan Love is that guy, and I'm going to believe them. Just the opposite for New England. I have nothing to go off of for the last half decade that says they know what they're doing offensively.
Nope.
I would say the Jets, to me, are a third-place team. 8, maybe 9 wins. I like the defense, think it's overrated. Right, especially you lose Bryce Huff and Hassan Reddick hasn't signed yet, so your pass rush is not going to be quite the same, especially on those big third down. Everybody knows the team has to throw. The only little caveat here is they play some weak quarterbacks. Like, they could go on a run.
Yes.
But they're going to have to execute, and I'm not sure. I have no proof that a Robert Saleh coach team and that the New York Jets as a franchise can consistently execute on a week-to-week basis do the little things necessary to be a double-digit win team. I have no proof of concept.
And please keep in mind, this is also, we're giving Aaron Rodgers a losing record here. This is 8-9.
Yeah.
Do you think he plays the whole season? Just real quick.
No, not all 17 games, but I don't think he gets hurt and misses the whole year. I think he's just going to miss a couple games here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I would say second place. You're higher in this team than I am, but I would go with the Dolphins at 9-8.
Absolutely.
And we had this exact discussion.
10-7.
You're like, wait, you have them losing to the Jets at the end of the year? I'm like, yes, it's January in New York.
Doesn't matter. 10-7.
Tua has 0 wins in that type of weather. None. Like, none. He cannot do it, right? Like, so November on, anything on the road in the cold is just a loss. And there's like 3 of them that I counted that are just, they are going to be at a decided quarterback disadvantage. And it's not even obvious that the quarterback on the other side is better than Tua. It's that he's better prepared and better in that environment than Tua by a long shot.
What do you think they play up to? You think they play to a 10-7?
And I think they're
would it shock you if they get to 11 wins? 11 wins.
No, because they have a ton of talent. But you also have to remember that defense is not very good, right? Xavier Howard's not on the team anymore, right? You have Jalen Ramsey on the outside is good.
They've regressed.
Bradley Chubb is good up front, but then you also lose Vic Fangio, your DC. So I don't have a lot of faith in this team. I think they're going to be good. Very good.
Offense is important. It's the forefront of the league, and they have one of the best of them. They have one of the best coaches, and they have, just immaculate weapons. And I think at the end of the day, if Tua can stay healthy and he can distribute the football, he doesn't do anything to lose you games.
No, I agree. Except for when it's cold. Then he does.
We'll see.
That's my concern. So we're kind of flipped here because I think the Bills are the 10-win team of the division. I think there's going to be some, if you want to call it cannibalism in the division, because there are 3 good teams. I know we nitpick the Jets, but overall they're a good team, right? There's going to be some dog-eat-dog here in this division. I just think Buffalo's the best way. You're selling your Buffalo stock, I'm buying it, and vice versa for Miami. I'm selling the Miami stock, and you are buying it all up. People are like, oh, well, they lost Stephon Diggs. They lost Gabe Davis.
It matters.
It doesn't matter because, and I'll tell you why. So they were 6-6 last year. 6-6. Miami was, I think, 9-3 at the time. They said, screw this, we're going to start running the football more. When they started winning games consistently, at the end of the year and playing winning football, Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis were not a big part of the offense, right? They were not a marquee. They were not the cornerstone of the offense, right? The cornerstone of the offense was the offensive line, the run game, and Josh distributing the ball to his tight ends primarily and his running backs out of the backfield. That's their recipe, at least last year was their recipe to win. So I don't think you need a dynamic wide receiver with this roster to win. And we saw it at the end of last year. We have that proof of concept.
Now we also have the proof of concept, though, of what Mahomes looks like without his receivers.
And he won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Okay, but it was really ugly. And I don't think that Josh Allen has the resiliency to get over that, to get through that.
Now, to be clear, I don't think he's Mahomes. I don't think they're winning a Super Bowl because I don't think McDermott is Andy Reid, and I don't think Josh Allen's Patrick Mahomes. But to me, that was a comparison that fell on deaf ears because they won back-to-back Super Bowls, and he won a Super Bowl MVP.
But to me, Buffalo is a team that their Super Bowl window has closed. It's not open right
now.
No,
I think that's fair. I think
it's not open right now.
I don't think they're a Super Bowl team because I don't think they're. I would take Kansas City. I would, if Burrow's healthy, I would take Cincinnati. If Lamar is healthy, I would take Baltimore as well. There's an argument. I would take Houston as well, and that's closer to your team than mine.
Yes,
but there's an argument I would take Houston over them.
Okay,
but I don't think they're going to drop off a cliff all of a sudden.
That's fair. I'm just not very high on them. To run back through, Buffalo in first at 10-7, Miami following close behind in second at 9-8, the Jets in third at 8-9, and the Patriots barely being able to scrap out 4 wins to a 4-13 record in the basement, bottom of the division. That's the AFC East. That's how we see the records. That's our agreed upon record.
Sure, I am fascinated to watch this division. This may be one of the most interesting divisions because I know, I know we talked some stick about like the Jets, and I don't have faith in the Dolphins. Any one of these teams, Patriots aside, if they won 12 games, would it like floor you?
No.
If you're like, hey, Aaron Rodgers looks like Aaron Rodgers and won 12 games. Or, hey, the best wide receiving core in football won 12 games. Or, hey, Josh Allen, Superman, they won 13 games, or whatever.
Right, not shocking.
Wouldn't surprise me at all, so I'm fascinated.
Okay, superlatives. So we have the MVP, the Offensive Player of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year, the Breakout Player, and the Coach of the Division. We're going to start with MVP.
Unless we are just completely... unless we just have the biggest brain fart, which is possible in the current state... this to me was like one of the most obvious divisions in terms of who is what. So MVP would be Josh Allen.
Okay.
That he had more. It's not revenue split. It's contribution to the offense percentage based than any other player in football over the last 3 years. So yeah, Josh Allen is the most valuable player.
They've really leaned on him. Yeah.
Yes.
Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah.
I think Tyreek Hill. I think he's the best offensive player in football. Maybe Christian McCaffrey, but I think Tyreek Hill has an argument for the best offensive player in football.
At least in the AFC.
In terms of
at least in the AFC.
Yes, and I would go non-quarterback as a caveat on that.
For sure. Defensive Player of the Year.
Sauce Gardner. I almost said, who did I say? I said Jalen Ramsey, and immediately both looked at each other like, no, Sauce is a much better corner.
Absolutely.
At this point. I think maybe prime Jalen, but that's a debate for another time. But yeah, no, Sauce Gardner. I think he's probably a top 3 DB in football. I think it's Pat Surtain, Sauce Gardner. Pick your third, but yeah, he is an absolute lockdown corner on a good defense too, right? So it's not like he is a chandelier in an empty warehouse per se. So
I like that saying. A breakout player.
I would stay with the Jets, and I would go Garrett Wilson. And now many people would be like, I think he's already broken out, like he's a star. But I think we all are pretty damn sure he's a star, but we have not seen a star caliber season out of him. And I would mostly blame that on quarterback play.
Yeah.
I think finally Aaron's healthy and upright for most of the year, and they have a legitimate backup in Tyrod. So now if he gets hurt, they have Tyrod Taylor, who is more than capable. He's better than Zach Wilson, Mike White, or whoever else has been throwing the football to Garrett Wilson.
Mike White.
Like he's better than any of those guys.
Yeah.
So I would say Garrett Wilson, he is almost a star. I think you're going to see him be a bona fide 100%. He is a top 10 to 12 wide receiver this year.
Love it. Coach of the division.
Mike McDaniel. I think he's fantastic. I think he's so good.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
The personality.
I was just about to say, like the press conference when he pulls up, he looks like he just got out of a nightclub. Like he's like, do we have any? He looks over. Do we have any water? Like that dude was going through it. He cracks me up. But no, all seriousness, X's and O's. I think he's one of the most clever coaches in football, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So yeah, Mike McDaniel.
All right, take us back through.
Josh Allen MVP, Tyreek Hill, Offensive Player of the Year, Sauce Gardner, and Garrett Wilson as DPOY and Breakout, respectively, from the Jets, and Mike McDaniel from the Dolphins as Coach of the Year.
Guys, thanks for watching. As always, go check it out. It's all over the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter. All these predictions, all these graphics, you can find them wherever you can find the show, theissuesports.com.
I'm not going to lie.